Hey, Dr. Bell. Hey, Dr. Bell, can you hear me?
Let me meet everybody into the room.
No, you can't. I mean,
Will I be able to go out, come back in and get my stuff?
I'm sure you will be able to.
I can't hear anything. Can I hear?
Dr. Bell.
Yes.
Hey, this is Ashlyn. I'm using Noah's computer, so that's why it says Noah, but it's actually Ashlyn.
Okay, okay. I'll try to remember that. I'm trying to take my names.
Okay, I just want to let you know.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
DMUNGO.
Miss Bell,
Yes,
hey, how are you?
I'm fine, Austin. How about yourself?
You know I'm always good. I can't really like hear you too, like the speakers on my phone have been like a little bit scratchy lately. I think they got like water damage in them or something. So like if you like ask me a question or whatever and I don't respond like right away, I just want to let you know that was the reason.
Okay, thank you. As long
Yes,
as you
ma'am.
can hear tonight, you'll probably be okay. At this point, everybody, I'm just trying to take everybody's name down.
Okay. Also just for the record, very excited to see you. You know, that's always
So what now? Very excited. Okay. Well, it's exciting to hear your voice and know that you're always a number 5 on a scale of 1
Always.
to, oh yeah,
always number 5.
always a number 5.
We live our lives by the number 5, Miss Bell.
Okay. Okay, now who's on Noah Haney? Who's Noah Haney?
It's Ashlyn Hardison.
Ashley. Okay. Thank you, Ashley.
Yes, ma'am.
Hardison, okay. Ronald Thompson. And I'm gonna go over these before we get off, so I make sure I have everybody.
Hey, Miss Bell.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing fine. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Hi.
I emailed you. Yes, it's me.
Okay.
I emailed you right before this. I don't know if you saw it. Did you?
I don't know. I've been busy all day. I just.
I know. Well, if my connection goes in and out, I'm in a truck using a hotspot because my sister-in-law just got in a bad wreck.
Oh gosh.
So I'm here so I can listen, but my mind's also on her too. So if I'm
Well, tonight is just a listen night anyway.
okay.
And if you have to leave, just let me know.
Okay.
If something comes up.
Well, we're just waiting on law enforcement. So if they get here and they need me for anything, I'll let you know that, before.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. And thank you. Have you been to school yet?
Yes, ma'am, I have, and I plan on going tomorrow to teach.
Okay.
Nervous but excited.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll do a good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know.
I appreciate that. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Okay, there's a lot of people on here. Okay. Hello to everybody. I think I have everybody's name. And we'll get started. And if somebody will remind me, Austin, that'll be your job to make sure I take attendance before I leave so that I won't forget anybody. I do have someone, a DMUNGO. Who is that?
Donna, my name is Donna Mungo.
Donna, okay, and I don't
Yes.
have, okay, Mungo. Thank you, Ms. Mungo.
You're welcome.
All right. Just want to say happy afternoon to everybody. I hope you had a wonderful day and I hope you're looking forward to your EDU 487 societal context. We have a rigorous course. The course is 8 weeks. And so we're going to talk about some things as it relates to the course tonight. I want to go over your shell. If somebody would kind of keep an eye on the waiting room. I have somebody, let me get this one. So if there's somebody there and I get started and I can't see it, let me know so I can let them in. Okay. Let's just take a moment and pause for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. I like to do that. As most of you know, if you're teaching or plan to teach, there is somewhere in the general statutes a law that allows for a teacher to have a moment of silence with the students. Of course, as most of you know, she can't pray, but the students can do whatever they want to do within that moment as long as everybody is silent. So that is strictly up to you. So I hope that most of you have at least reviewed your Moodle shell. I'm gonna see if I can locate it, and I will be gone if I can find that to share with you. Can you see it? Can you see the Moodle shell? Can you see EDU
Yes.
487?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we're just gonna go over this a little
ma'am.
bit tonight, and I want to talk to you about a couple other things, and we'll be kind of finished with that. If you look at it, you have your assignment guidelines. I hope that you've read those, and I think what's most important with those, please take notes, and I want to make sure that you read your assignment guidelines. Make sure that you submit your assignments on time. If you read that,
Dr. Bell.
okay, could everybody mute? Hello? Okay, good, thank you. Look at your assignment guidelines. And one thing I want to say that's very important as it relates to your guidelines is that please make sure that all your assignments are submitted on time. If there's for some reason that it can't be submitted, please try to make contact with me and we can talk about it. Anything over 20 days will automatically turn into a 0. So at April 29th, please don't send me an email and tell me that you want to submit an assignment that was due in March, okay? Because I think that's just out of, I don't know. I just try to get them all in within 20 days. If it's late and you have permission to submit a late assignments start at a grade of 69, and I will grade from that point. So I will give you 69, and then I will grade your assignment. So try to make sure that you get your information in on time. I will post when it's time for Zoom. I will post your Zoom link like I did tonight, and I will try to send it to you in your email. So keep an eye on your email. Also, make sure that you check for your make sure that you check your email on a regular basis so that you can keep abreast of everything that is going on within the classroom. Are there any questions about those? I will take attendance on Sunday by 6 o'clock. Please make sure that your assignments are submitted by 6 o'clock on Sundays. Okay, every Sunday by 6 o'clock. You have the Meet the Professor bit of information about me. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions about that or need to talk to me about anything, that will be fine. So, as we move through.
For some reason,
I don't know what's going on. Is that me or somebody else? Okay. If you look through your, and I'm going to smile about this because I don't like this at all. I don't like these tiles, but they're there. Each tile, of course, discusses or shares with you the information that you need for that particular week. And of course, this is an 8-week course. We probably will not meet every week, but we will meet as I am working with you to discuss what we'll talk about in a little bit, the PPAT. So I think everything should be in order. And I'll ask for your assistance with this. Most of the time when we have a new course, it is imported from an older course. So we as professors have to go back, professors have to go back and change the date. So if you happen to see an assignment that does not match, the date does not match the current date, just send me an email. I will be more than happy to change it. I have been through this course, both of these courses, a couple of times, and sometimes I go through it 3 times and still miss. So if you see anything that where the dates do not coincide, if you would please kindly send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to change it. Week 2, there's a video, of course, and then there are some questions, and you only have to answer or respond to 5 of those. And then there's a PowerPoint or Prezi presentation on diversity terms. I would that you could, if you could, use the Prezi. This will show you how to develop the Prezi presentation. Software, I do not know why it didn't hyperlink, but it didn't. So you may have to copy that and move it somewhere in order to get the information. But I will accept either a Prezi or a PowerPoint for that, okay? Third week is an assignment. I won't open it up because it's there. If you have any questions about that, you also have a forum assignment. And then you have, of course, we have what we call the PPAT uploads. Don't worry about those. We'll talk about those shortly. I just want to go through your Moodle shell. So we'll talk about that at that time. Okay. Just week 4. Week 5, laws, policies affecting schools, teachers, and students. Please look at that assignment. It should not be anything that would cause you not to be able to submit it. Then, of course, we have student similarities and differences. We'll focus on exceptional children as well as gifted children. The assignment should be self-explanatory. And we'll also continue with week 7, similarities and differences, but we'll focus on exceptional children and English language learners. Also, this week, you will be requested to take your final exam. And the link you will see will be located in week 8. But I want you to please note that the assignment, the exam is due April, the exam is due April 24th by midnight. It will be open from 5 o'clock to 12 midnight. Okay. And it's not necessarily a hard test exam. It's just if you paid attention to what you have done in the class, you should be able to pass. There are a couple of items on the exam which I will not accept unless it is textbook specific, and I don't want anything else. And when I say textbook specific, it is in the textbook, and that's the way I want it written on your exam. But that's the answer that I will receive or accept from the exam. Then we have the Universal Design for Learning and Assisted Technology, and those assignments are there. And of course, here is the link for your final exam, okay? All right, now what I want to do, I want to go back up to week 4. Week 4 has what we call the information for artifacts and for the PPAT. Now, the PPAT is the Praxis Professional Assessment for Teachers. The PPAT is a state requirement for all students who are conducting student teaching internship. So if you're going to conduct student teaching internship, you will have to complete the PPAT. There are 4 tasks with the PPAT. Task 1 is called the knowledge of students in the learning environment. Task 2 is assessment and data collection to measure and inform student learning. Task 3 is designing instruction for student learning. And task 4 is implementing and analyzing instruction to promote student learning. Each of these tasks have been embedded in one of your courses, your education courses at the University of Mount Olive. Task 1 has been embedded in EDU 487. And task 1 is knowledge of students and the learning environment. What we're doing is providing you an opportunity to become familiar with those tasks prior to you going into the classroom to student teach, because you will have to complete the task in the classroom. You will have to pass the task. And I think there's a passing score of 38. It was 40. They've moved it down. We hope they don't move it back up. Most of our students have done relatively well with the PPAT because you have guidance and direction from your supervising professor as you're doing your student teaching internship. But if you take the time and read through the tasks, they're not necessarily hard. It does take an extreme amount of work and an extreme amount of time in order to complete the task, but it can be done. And they're spread out over the semester. Your task 1 is graded by your supervising professor. Task 2, 3, and 4 are evaluated by ETS itself. They have qualified people to evaluate those tasks. So whatever you do for task 1 for EDU 487 doesn't mean necessarily you can't submit that. It's just, this is just practice for you. Task 4 comes with a video. It has to be a 15-minute video. It could be one solid 15-minute video, or it could be 3 5-minute short videos, of course, and either one 15 or 3 5s can't be edited. There is a cost to the PPAT. It's $400. So I want you to know that now so you can start saving up for that. So when you get ready to student teach, you'll be ready to pay for the exam.
Ms. Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Bell.
Yes.
It's $300.
300. Oh, I'm sorry. 300.
Yeah, we paid.
298.
I
I'm
paid.
sorry.
Yeah, I
It's
paid
three.
$300.
It's 3. Yeah, it's that's right. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I mean, it's still a lot, but I'm just saying, let's
I'm
take
sorry.
$100.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't know 4. I don't know why I'm thinking 4. It's 3. But anyway, I'm sorry. It's $300 because that's right. I'm sorry. I don't know. But anyway, 3 is still a lot, but it's not 4, right? So it's $300. Okay, so what you are responsible for is the task 1 for this class. So with task 1, you have to submit, there are 4 artifacts, and we'll kind of talk about those probably at our next meeting. I may show them to you tonight. It just depends. So you have a contextual factors chart, you have an instructional and support resources chart, you have an introductory communication, and you have a getting to know your student document, okay? I have included in this some assignments. If you look, PPAT elementary library of examples for class assignments, 1.1, 1.1.2, and 1.1.3. We're going to work on these. I have placed them here for you. I will let you know when, and when we come back together, these assignments should be completed so that we can discuss them. And also, I have 3 more here, and these are all for task 1. See what else I need to cover for you. So the instructional resources and support chart, I will see if I can go out and find that for you, and I will share with you. Do you have any questions while I'm looking for that new window? And we need to decide on when you want to meet, when we meet. Know that your Zooms are not mandatory, but know that you will miss information if you don't participate. And I suggest that you have someone to take notes for you if you can't come to the meeting, if you can't participate. I will try to record your sessions, but sometimes y'all know how technology can be, and it doesn't always work. Share screen. I want to try this new share. Can you see PPAT assessment task requirements? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So here's your task one, knowledge of students and the learning environment. And you can read, it says, in this formative task completed during the first week of student teaching, you demonstrate the knowledge and skills and understanding of your assigned classroom, okay? You will provide evidence in regards to the students in your classroom, in your community, and identify implications of those factors on instruction. Once you identify the factors, it says, how can you use them for in your classroom as you're teaching a lesson? Now, what I need you to do after tonight, please take this down. I need you to go to www.ets.org. You do not, well, have to do it tonight, but I do want you to just go over to the ETS website and look at task one so that you will be familiar. I think you need to read through task one to make sure that you understand what is required of you. Okay, so let's take a look at the instructional and support resources chart. Can you see this, or do I need to share again? Thank you, thank you. Who is that just sticking that thumb up there to help me out there? Thank you so much, I appreciate it. All right, PPAT assessment task one, instructional and support resources chart. It says a wide range of services and resources are available within a school system to support instruction. This chart allows you to become familiar with what is available to you within your teaching context. What can you put your hands on within your context, within your environment, within your area that you can use within your classroom? It says, complete the chart by listing available instructional materials and resources. So the instructional materials are the things that you use in your class in order to help you to teach. They want you to look at the community, okay? They want you to look at what are some of the building or the district policies, what are some programs within that school, what type of support staff is offered in that school, what types of instructional materials can you find in that school, what curricular programs are at that school, has any been implemented? It says one example and its source, an example such as whatever you have. Just give the example. It says one example. I have students who give many examples, and the more you can give, the better, because you're going to have to come back to this list and write about your resources. So if it were me, I would list several. So what we will probably do before we get to that, I'll try to share an example for you so you can see what it looks like. Instructional technology, we all know what that is. So what instructional technology is available in that school? Do you have access to recorded student data? Most people do. Long time ago, we used to keep cumulative records and cumulative files. And you can, maybe sometimes there are notebooks with all the testing data in it. So you can indicate that as the way that you can access your student records and your student data. If you have programs in your schools, for example, if you have reading programs or if you have math programs where the students can participate and that data is recorded as to how well that student managed whatever activity he or she was doing, then you can certainly use that here, because that will be access to reading data, access to math reading program data, math program data, or even your standardized test scores, okay? So that's the first chart that you have to complete. Remember, please put this down. This is due week 4. All 4 of these artifacts are due week 4, and this is artifact, a artifact. There are 4 of them, and this is the first one, instructional and support resources chart. The next one is a contextual factors chart. Very similar to the instructional chart, do the very same thing. The only thing you do here, though, you're focusing on different factors. The knowledge of students, individual students, and it tells you what you can add here. Students' lived experiences, personal histories, or anything there, any cultural or linguistic assets. What are the home languages? What are the academic or non-academic strengths of the students? Are there any unique learning needs? It says prior learning experience. Do you have a group of students who came to you who are well off, or wealthy, or are, I guess, well off? So most of the times those students come with a background of knowledge where they've traveled a lot, as opposed to the students who are probably in a, who live in public housing. So you could very easily indicate that, excuse me. Thank you. You could very easily indicate that you live in maybe a high poverty area and your students are doesn't have access to field trips or to take trips or things of that nature. Then you have general classroom information. All subcategories listed in this box are required. Students' grade and developmental level, grade 5, average, above average, or whatever you want to put that. The age range of the students, content area being taught. Is it science, math, English, or both combination? Other factors that are pertinent to understanding your class assignment. Okay. And then you have the school and district factors. Please include those. It says the school culture, school norms, policies. What about how does the school or how does the district encourage family engagement? What about community engagement? Are there student-centered learning goals and strategies that are provided by the school? And then you look at the district. What's the enrollment for that district? Are there any demographic shifts? For example, you may have had the majority of the students may once have been majority, but now it's minority, or it could have been vice versa. So that would have been a shift. The percent of students receiving free and reduced lunches, graduation rates, the percent of students with IEPs, and that of course you get from the principals, percent of students with English language learning assignments, or I don't want to say titles, but students who are ELLs, and the per pupil expenditures. Is it $4,000 per pupil? Is it $3,500 per pupil? Or what is it? All right, hold on a second. I have a few questions. Let me see. Is my voice still echoing? Okay. Am I required to do the PPT if I'm already in the classroom? If you are already in the classroom, if you're a traditional student, or if you have a plan of study that was developed for you by Dr. Bullock Maxwell, and you have to student teach, if you have to student teach, you have to take the PPAT. I work in a child development center, and I know we do not have some of this criteria. What would you do? No distraction at all. I don't mind helping you. You do have some of these. You'll have to find them. We'll have to talk about that. Once you start student teaching interning, your supervising professor will be able to help you. I think we can manage something pretty much to help you out there, but you will find something. In the community, there's historical context, important figures, in the community, formal or informal, urban, suburban, rural, the socioeconomic status of your school, your community, and any census data that can be used. So you list all of that there because you're going to have to refer back to it when you write what they call the guiding prompts for your task. Okay, so then that brings us to a couple other things. That brings us down to the getting to know your student. I need you to write this down. I need you to Google, I need you to look up what is called a getting to know you student activity. I need you to Google getting to know your students activities. And I want you to see what types of activities that will allow you to get to know your students. What that does for anybody, any teacher, it helps you to learn your students and help you to be able to develop your lessons in that classroom around your students' interests and their desires and the things that they need to learn. Let's say, for example, that you have maybe the majority of your students are Hispanic students, and they all love Cinco de Mayo. I'm just saying, I don't know. But you would make sure if the majority of your students, if you found out that they like that holiday, then you would certainly make sure that you were to cover that in your classroom. So that's all this is. It's getting to know your students. It's allowing you to get to know your students. If you know that majority of your students like ice cream, then you would send us some lesson around ice cream where you might would bring ice cream in, because if you focus on some of the things that they like, they are more engaged and they're more attentive and more apt to participate. So that's what that getting to know your students activity is about. And I want you to go ahead and look those up so that you would get a list of activities that you could use in your class. Another thing, and I need you to take notes, is the communication to the parents. In developing a communication to your parents, and I think I've covered that somewhere in your course shell, your assignment. And I'm not sure. Write these things down for your communication. I did remind you, remember this is week 4, but it's okay. So I need you to write a letter. You can use a letter, or you can use any other document. It may be a school newsletter that you develop to send home to your parents. It's just a parent communication. A letter is just easy for anybody to write, but you can use a newsletter. I need you to introduce yourself. Make sure that you introduce yourself. Tell a little bit about yourself. Talk about your classroom demographics. What does your classroom look like? You could say the majority of my class are minority students or majority students. You don't necessarily have to go into the details and saying I have 5 blacks, 5 whites, 5 browns, and 5 greens. You don't necessarily have to do that. You could just use the term that I have a variety of ethnicities in my classroom or races. And also, how do you plan to address the needs of those various differences in your classroom? And also, the 4th thing you need to tell me is how you're going to be able to interact or communicate with those parents and how they can get up with you when they need help. Okay, so tell a little something about yourself, introduce yourself, talk about the demographics within your classroom, talk about how you're going to address the needs of those students in the classroom. This is what it's about. And then how you and the parents are going to interact with each other. How are you going to open up your classroom for the parents to be able to come in, to interact, or to share things with you, and vice versa. Now, I think another question might be, okay, we're not in school. Some people are, some people are not. If you're not able to get into a classroom, and most people are not unless you're essential, I think I have one student on who's doing some junior, maybe a couple, who's doing junior practicums, and they can get into the classroom, so it won't be a problem for them. We may have some people who are still working in um, preschools or organizations which have not necessarily shut down, or students are still coming. So you can utilize those areas. For those of you who can't get into schools, we're going to have to talk. So usually if you can't, if you know of a teacher or a friend who has some students, I would allow you to work through them to get the information that you need. One thing I want to say is that some of the information for your charts, you can look at the school report card, a particular school's report card, and you can get all that information that you need. I think it's for that contextual factors chart. Some of that information would be on the school's report card. Let's see.
Hey, Dr. Bell,
Yes.
I'm so sorry, but I am going to have to go.
Hi.
But I promise I'll watch the Zoom recording after all this whole ordeal is over. And I'm sorry about this. I really
It's okay.
am.
It's cool.
Freak
I know.
accident.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so I think I've covered most of everything that I need for tonight. Unless you have some questions. Let me see, share. I think once you read over, and the guiding prompts we're gonna do with these activities that I've placed here. We're gonna do those here. Let's see. Okay, so just look at this one. Here's what this is gonna be our assignment for, this is new. I'm trying something new this semester for PPAT Task 1. This is already uploaded. I will give you the directions for PPAT Task 1, Step 1, Text Box 111, okay? What you will do, it says the guiding prompts for Task 1, Text Box 111. Okay, so here's what you have to do. It says, identify your chosen community factor. I will have you to do that in a particular color because it will be here. Okay, the community factor is household types. Instructional strategy, another thing. Okay, please write this down. Please identify, look up the word instructional strategy and learning activity. I need you to know the difference between the two. An instructional strategy and a learning activity, okay? So this will be an activity, and what we will do is highlight, I will give you the directions for that, and we're gonna highlight those, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about them. So I may say, please highlight the community factor in yellow, and then I may ask you to highlight the instructional strategy in pink. Then I may ask you to highlight the learning activity in green. And then I may ask you some other things. So what we will do, whatever is in A and B is what we will probably wind up highlighting. So it'll be easy. I'll give that, I'll share that with you. But I need you to read through this. And then here are the questions that we will ask. Does the candidate connect a chosen factor to an instructional strategy? You need to have those in your mind so you can share those out. We'll talk as a group. And does the candidate connect the chosen district factor? See, it asks for the instructional strategy, and then it will ask for the learning strategy, okay? And it says, where does the candidate explain how the instructional strategy furthers student learning? And what does the candidate explain? Where does the candidate explain how each learning activity furthers student learning? So that is kind of like the rubric for Task 1. And we're not going to do this one because it says this student did not meet the standard. So I don't even look at that. But now if you want to read it to know what you shouldn't do, that's okay with me. But if this one, if ETS says this was a halfway decent assignment or guiding prompt submission and met or exceeded, then that's what we're going to look at. But don't worry about that now. I just want you to know that when I talk about these, that's where they'll be, okay? That's where they'll be. Do you have any questions?
I have a question, Dr. Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Topaz Holman. So I'm not in the classroom at this point in time, and I work at Head Start.
Okay.
Do I need to try to get someone in the elementary school, or how does that need to come back? I mean, because we were in the classroom until November.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay, so you're not there now.
No.
Okay. So are you doing anything?
Yeah, we do Zoom. I do Zoom meetings, and I still have to do. I do go to the center once a week, and we still do Zoom meetings and have to put in stuff for anecdotal notes and everything of that nature.
So you have access. Do you have access to students for your getting to know you activity? Is there any way?
Oh yeah, I know my students. I was in the classroom enough to know my students, and I still have contact with them every week, Monday, all through the week.
Okay, so how would you get, let's just say, for example, you gave them an interest inventory and it just was something, excuse me, my phone is ringing. I'm not gonna go get it. Let's just say, for example, you asked them what their favorite color was, what their favorite animal was, what their favorite season was. I know this is too much for your children, but I'm just giving you an example. So you could do this, if you have contact with them via Zoom, you could talk to them. You can say, okay, Ruby, what's your favorite color?
Yeah, we have Zoom every Wednesday and every Monday and Wednesday.
So once you decide on your getting to know you student activity, you can just work with them individually or with all of them. Just say, okay, Ruby, what's your color? Okay, Charlene, what's your favorite color? Okay, Michelle, what's your favorite color? Okay, Johnny, what's your favorite color? And then go to the next one. So you will have all that out of the way.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it was okay that I still used Head Start for the contextual factories and all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
So I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't do math or science or any of the general core stuff. I'm actually a choir teacher at a high school. So I just want to make sure that the stuff involved in contextual factors is like the access to data and stuff like that. Is that more of a general statement or is it specific to your classroom?
No, if you look at that, that information was basically, one part was about, there's one about your school and then about your district, not necessarily your classroom. The area that talks about your classroom, which you could do, you said music? What was your area? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes, it's music.
When it talks specifically about your classroom demographics, then you could use that. It's not going to be, where in the world that is. Let me pull it up for you. It works. Trust me, this assessment works at all levels.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is not opening. That's not what I'm asking for. Wow.
We love technology.
I know. Wow. It's not, I don't know why. I keep opening up the chart and it keeps giving me a lesson plan.
Well, I'm sure I can go back and see
Yeah,
it.
it'll trust me, it'll work for you.
Okay, and then
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
We have everybody who's student teaching, regardless as to your level, can do this. It works for everybody.
Okay, and then I do have another question. Is there like a template for this that we're going to be using, or are we just sort of setting it up ourselves? Or how exactly is this?
What you mean when you say template? We just did a template for your charts.
Like a fill-in template that we can use, or are we setting up?
I can send you one of those. I had said earlier that I was going to show you one. I don't think I have one on this computer. Let me see if I can find it. I'll try to share it with you, but I'm not sure I have one. This, of course, is my home computer.
Yeah, I just wanted to check so that when we're doing this, if it's a specific template you were looking for, or if we can just do a here's a bunch of paragraphs on a piece of paper. Here's my
So,
assignment sort of situation.
there's, as far as the template is concerned, there are what we call guiding prompts, who they will ask you the questions, and within that sample that I showed you, that's sort of the guiding prompts. They ask you what they want and ask that you try to complete those prompts for that activity. Let's see, instructional resources. No. Okay, so I don't see that here for that to use. So let me go back to share. Let's see if I can find that. So let me see. Where I want to go. Let me do this for you. Let me see if I can find the task requirements. Can you see this? Where's my thumbs up? Can y'all see this? It says PPS.
Yes,
Good,
ma'am.
thank you. All right. So here you have, it says the contextual factors chart, you complete it. Instructional and support resources chart, you complete it. This is for the $300 PPAT, I'll get that right. One completed, getting to know your student activity, and a document that demonstrates communication with the student family. So we talked about all 4 of those tonight. So let's just slide through this, because you're going to take your time and look through where my camera is moving to. Take your kind of time and look through these for yourself. Okay. So what they asked you to do, if you look at text box 111, understanding the contextual factors influencing instruction and student learning. Guiding prompt 1, we looked at it in the activity. It's the same thing. Identify your chosen community factor. Look back at your sheet and find the factor that you like to use. It says, based on your chosen community factor, identify and describe one instructional strategy. You got to look those up. You got to make sure you know what they are. And one learning activity that you could use in your classroom to further student learning. Provide a rationale very easily. Why? Why did you identify this strategy and this activity for the students that you have in your classroom? That's all it is. All you have to do is just take the time to read through it. Then it moves to your chosen school or district factor, and it's the very same thing repeated for the other area. So you're going to do a chosen community factor, and then you're going to do a chosen district factor, school factor. Those two come together. Then you're going to move down. Available resources to enhance student learning. Select 2 resources from the completed instructional support resources chart. Once you finish that chart that we just talked about and shared, you're going to explain how you would use those in your classroom, okay? 2 resources, that's what that is. I'm hoping that me sharing the example and we working through the example and you seeing the connection between the example that ETS has provided and how it works, I'm hoping that's going to be beneficial. As I said before, this is the first time I'm going to do it this way. In the past, I've had the students to write it out and just share it. But this time I want to try this and see if it works to allow you to see what ETS requires. And then we'll pull it together, because I think that will be good for you and that will help solidify what it is they are expecting of you in your mind, okay? So just take a moment and look at this. Let's see, this is Monday. Is 7:30, 7 o'clock, 6:30 is the world news, but I can do that. Is 6:30 better? I couldn't 6:30 tonight because I have 2 other meetings.
Is it gonna be every Monday?
No, ma'am. We're gonna do, we'll meet until we get PPAT behind us, and after that, that's it.
Okay, because I usually work on Mondays, but if I have a heads up, I can ask off for that day.
Cool, I don't want you to do that. But
I mean,
6:30,
it's totally fine with me.
6:30. I'm gonna give you a chance to work through your, we probably won't meet next Monday. I don't know. Maybe we need to go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's do 6:30. I'll try to send you 6:30 on Monday. I think that'll be a good time for me. Monday, 6:30, 6:30.
What about 7 on Mondays?
Okay. Okay,
It don't matter, 6:30 or 7.
I can do 7. That's better for me. Give me a chance to see world news tonight.
7's good.
7 is good? Okay. All right. All right, let's go through this name. Charlene Cameron, right?
Yes, and I have a question.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My question is about this week's assignment about where do I stand inventory in chapter 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is the inventory? Because I can't find it.
Do you have your textbook?
Yes, I'm looking right at it.
Does anybody
think-
not have it?
I'm
Look
sorry.
Look in the back of the book, look in your index or look in your contents and see if you see the where do I stand inventory. Anybody else look for it? Have you not found it?
I found it in my textbook.
Would you tell her where it is?
It's in chapter 9.
It's page 250, 4.
254, thank you.
Okay. Michelle Bennett? Is Michelle here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Andrew Monroe?
Yes, I'm here.
Austin Elliott? Blair Tadlock?
Here.
Carly Cagle?
Here.
Cassidy is gone, I think. Crystal Borshan?
Yeah.
Donna Mungo?
I'm here.
Giovanna, I think, Johnson?
Javonda Johnson.
Javonda. Javonda? Okay, thank you. Kayla Cooney, I think.
Yep, right here. And you said it
All
correctly.
right, thank you. Matthew Boyette.
I'm right here.
Okay. Michelle Boyette. Michelle? Michelle Bennett, I think.
Yes, ma'am, here.
Thank you. Nicholas King.
Here.
Nicholas?
Here. Yes, ma'am, here.
Thank you. Nicolette Compassanano.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Ashlyn Hardison.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Ronald Thompson.
Here, Ron, please.
Ron, okay. Rose Ingram. Rose Ingram. Shamika Singleton.
Here.
Thank you. I think Bong, Sheltonia. I may have written it down wrong.
Yeah, that's correct, Sheltanya. I'm here.
Okay. Teresa Miller.
Here.
Topaz Holman.
Here.
Thank you. Tyran Gillespie.
Yes, ma'am.
Tyron. Hey, Tyron, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You've been having a pretty good semester, first and
Yes, ma'am.
second. Okay.
Going good.
I missed you. It's been about a year since I've had you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Yvette Butler.
I'm here.
And I see Michelle Bennett twice. Okay, got you. And Jackie Golston.
Yeah. I'm here.
Did I miss somebody?
I'm here, Miss Bell.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Did I miss someone? Who is that?
Jacqueline.
I got you. Jackie,
Golston.
got you. Did I miss anybody else? Any questions, any comments, any concerns? How much is the PPAT?
300.
I'm just trying to give ETS more money and they don't need it. They'll take all you can give them though, trust me, I'm sorry. Anybody else? Did I miss a name? When do you have to take PPAT?
Do internship?
Doing your internship. Is anybody exempt from PPAT?
No.
No.
Oh.
No, don't care. As long as you're student teaching, state says you have to take PPAT and you have to pay $300. You have to register for it, okay? And you do have to pass with a score of 38 if they don't change it. And we hope they don't do that, okay? All right, y'all. So we'll meet, let's go ahead and let's try to meet next Monday at, you said 7:00 p.m. And keep your eye on your email because I will probably go ahead and send that assignment out for you so that you can work on it. I'll give you some directions. I hope I could get to do that tomorrow. I'm still working on placing student teachers, so, but maybe I can get that out to you tomorrow.
Now, I do have one last.
Yes, go ahead.
One last question. If we're someone who's doing the residency program, does that affect our timeline for the PPAT, or is that still in line with whenever we signed up for a clinical residency through Mount Olive?
Yes, when you sign up for clinical residency. Okay,
thank you.
You're welcome. If you have to student teach, you have the PPAT. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so there was one other thing, and I'm gonna let you go if I can think of what it was. Any other questions? Any other comments? Any other concerns? You have questions, please send them to my email. If you see something, as I can say, as everybody says, see something, say something. So if you see something wrong with your Moodle shell that I can correct, let me know. If you have questions, let me know. If you have comments, let me know. Scarlett, yes, ma'am. Scarlett Moore? Yes, ma'am. I can't hear you. Scarlett, do you have a question? I didn't have you down. Are you letting me know that you're present?
Her microphone's not working.
Okay, okay, got you. Okay. Anybody else?
For the forum, Professor Bell, do we have a specific date or day to have them done? Like you want them done on a Tuesday or something, or just?
Oh, I'm sorry. Assignments are due over Sunday. I thank you for that. By 6.
That includes the forum as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I will take attendance based on your response to the assignments.
Okay.
If there are 3 assignments and you only responded to 2, I will probably give you an excused absence. I will not mark you present. You have to have them. I would appreciate you having them all done. And if you don't have any done, that's an absence for you. So I'll work it out. I might be nice and say, well, they have 2, I'll mark them present. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll work on that. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay. You want to say good night? You have my email.
Good night.
Phone. Oh, let me share with you. I'm in the office on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday, usually from 11 to 2. If you leave me a message after hours, please don't be upset if I don't get to them to the next day. So try to send an email if you possibly can, okay? Especially if it's after hours. Okay? I don't want.
What did you say was due this week, Ms. Bell?
Look on your, look on
Yeah,
your.
it has the PPAT, the contextual factories and all that stuff on there as well. So all
It
that
should
is
be,
due.
that should say week 4. If not, I need to go back in and fix it for you. Those are due. Everybody write this down. All of those things that we talked about for PPAT are due week 4. The 2 charts, your letter, and your getting to know you activity. All you have to do is upload those.
Okay, yeah, because mine says week 1, March 8th through 14th.
Yeah, it's up there on week 1, but if you click on it, it says it's not due to April or something.
I have it in that area, but because I wanted to discuss it now, I have 2 classes, OSO1 and OSO2 coming together. And I think in one of the classes it's in week 4 and one of the classes in week 1. Thank you, whoever said that, but it's the due date is different. So just look at the due date. And if I need to change it, let me know, please.
Okay.
Who is that indicated that it says if you click on it, you'll see it?
Me, Shamika.
Okay, so.
Yeah, it says it's due April the.
Oh, okay, I see it now, Shamika. I see it now, Shamika.
Thank you.
All righty.
All right, any other questions? All right, I'll say good night.
Thank you, Dr. Bell.
All right, good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good
night. Good one. Okay.
Good night. Thank you, Dr. Bell.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Dr. Bell, I wanted to say thank you again for responding to my email super quickly.
Oh, well, you were quite welcome.
I was one that sent you the really panicked email about the EdTPA versus the PPAT.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah, it depends on what university you attend. There are some universities, most of the state universities do EdTPA, but most of the private institutions select the PPAT.
Yeah, it was something that, for whatever reason, caused a lot of confusion for our district. So our BT coordinator actually had never heard of it before. And I'm
And
sort of a
okay, so she probably did some research and found out that it was EdTPA because I know East Carolina uses EdTPA.
Yeah, and I'm over in Onslow, and because I'm a music lateral entry, I had to go a completely different route than what they're used to over here. So it got a little chaotic, but I really I wanted to make sure I said thank you for helping me out.
Not a problem. You're quite welcome. I'm glad we got it straightened out. So you look forward to PPAT.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but yeah.
Well, they said that was a little bit better than EdTPA, so we'll see.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Well, thank you so much.
You're quite welcome, and thank you for your kindness. We appreciate it. Good night, everybody. I think they're all gone. There's nobody left with us. Okay, good night.